Hello and welcome to News Center. You're watching CNBC-TV18 and I'm Parikshit Luthra. The Centre has notified the Citizenship Amendment Act rules 4 years after it was passed in the Parliament. The Act essentially expedites the citizenship process for non-Muslim migrants from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan who arrived in India on or before 31st of December 2014. However, the law doesn't apply to certain areas in the northeast. The government has launched a new web portal for people applying for citizenship under the Act. It will also launch a mobile application for the same. The Indian Union Muslim League has moved the Supreme Court seeking to restrain the government from implementing the Citizenship Amendment Act. Chief Ministers of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal have said that they will not be implementing the CAA in their states. Meanwhile, protests have erupted in some pockets of the country. However, there were celebrations in many parts of the country as well, hailing the notification of the CAA rules as well.
लाखों करोड़ों लोग पाकिस्तान से और बांग्लादेश से अपना धर्म बचाने के लिए, अपना सम्मान बचाने के लिए इस देश में आए। उनको नागरिकता नहीं मिलती थी। अपने ही देश में वो नागरिकता के बगैर अपमानित होते थे। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हिंदू, बौद्ध, जैन, ये सारे सिख, ये सारे लोगों को नागरिकता देकर उनका सम्मान करने का काम नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया है।
I'm fully in support of the decision of the India Alliance's Indian Union Muslim League to go to the Supreme Court against this. And I must say, if the India Alliance and the Congress Party come to power, we will withdraw this provision of the law. Beyond any shadow of a doubt, it's going to be in our manifesto. We will not support introducing religion into our citizenship and into our nation's life. This is wrong, and we certainly should not tolerate it in the interests of our country.
All right, let me now go across to former IPS officer Yashovardhan Azad. Mr. Azad, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do you feel the government has adequately addressed concerns of all stakeholders, all communities, before notifying this law?
Well, let's say that, the notification has come 4 years after the law was enacted. And definitely, if you look at it, the Hindu minorities in these three countries are being actually prosecuted. And every day there are horror stories coming out, especially in the case of women, if you see, in Pakistan. So in that respect, I think it's a good decision that all the minorities who are suffering, and these minorities, mind you, have no other place anywhere in the world to go to. So in that respect, yes, is the right thing to do. But yet there is another aspect also, Parikshit, and that is that when the Ahmadiyyas and the other sects of Muslims, which are not being recognized in Pakistan and these places, they are also being persecuted. So I think they should have also been included, and that would have addressed all the concerns. Now, some of the concerns being expressed by the IUML is that, it is against Constitution. I don't think that is true, because this is for a specific reason. So while we talk about equality of all religions before the Constitution, there are certain provisos which the state can undertake because of the extenuous circumstances. And in that respect, I think it's not an improper thing to do.
Right. Now, when we speak about Muslim refugees, what the government has said, that doesn't really change anything for them. It doesn't mean that they're going to be deported immediately or they will be sent back or they will face any kind of discrimination. They can continue living here as long as they are facing some sort of persecution or threat in their home country. And when that threat subsides, they can be sent back at that point in time. Do you think on this ground, can the court really question the CAA law at this stage?
No, I think, it's open interpretation for the court which way it is going to take this. But look at it this way: there are Rohingyas who are actually suffering, I admit. But, none of the big countries are accepting. I mean, they're trying to find a solution over there because it is now impossible. Parikshit, it's just impossible that with 130 crores, I don't think we should have a population of more than 75 crores. So, Muslims, they have a place to other go to. Besides, they are not being kicked out. The fast tracking of the citizenship is being done in the case of the Hindus who actually cannot go back. But in the case of Muslims, if things become better, it will be ideal if they can go back. And they have, many other, there are 78 Islamic countries also. But if you look at the Hindu countries, this is the only Hindu country. Where else can they go? So I think in that respect, it's not really that unfair, which people are talking about. But one thing, of course, I would say, one of the reasons why there is a lot of, protests, and the CMs and the India Alliance are all protesting, is that it's a political move and it is made at a political time when the elections are about to come. One thing we'll have to appreciate, whether good or bad, this was in the manifesto, right? This was already announced. A law had already been passed 4 years. And yes, I admit the timing does, imply a kind of a political move. Everyone does it for garnering votes, including the opposition, which would be also trying to garner votes from the other side. So it's politics all the way.
All right. Now, in terms of how the applications for citizenship by illegal migrants or refugees will be addressed, it has to go to the empowered committee through a district level committee. Now, the district level committee will be headed by the superintendent of police. It will have the district informatics officer, also an officer not less than the level of a Nayab Tehsildar, the station master of railways, and beyond and over and above that, you'll have the empowered committee, which consists of an officer from the Intelligence Bureau, the Foreign Regional Registrations Office, the State Informatics Officer, the Postmaster General, and also an official from the Department of Home. Now, what do you feel about the composition of the committees? While the government is saying that the entire process is going to be fast-tracked from 11 years of naturalization to 5 years of continuous stay in India, how do you think this procedure is in terms of certifying and approving the applications?
Well, one thing is very clear, Parikshit, you can make out, that is the primacy of the center in taking a decision. Now, even when people are saying that, the state CMs are saying that they're not going to allow it, ultimately the citizenship can be confirmed only by the center. Now, that is why the committees have been made in such a way that the center has an upper hand. I'm not too sure whether it's the superintendent of police who's heading the district committee, or is the superintendent of post office, or some census. I don't know. It can be checked, because the entire thing is with the center. And let me tell you another thing. For example, when the BJP is talking about West Bengal and raising its slogan over there, there are Matuas and Rajbanshis who have come from Bangladesh, right? So if they get fast tracking of citizenship, it's a good kind of signal before the election. So yes, it is in some ways the timing may be political, but as far as the committees also go, the center has an upper hand, and in that respect, you can say that yes, the move is politically timed, which the opposition is.
Mr. Azad, you've got Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and Kerala, which have said they will not implement it. Can they actually go ahead and make sure that people from their states, refugees in their states from these communities, cannot apply for citizenship under this law?
No, but that is going to be difficult, because the law has already been enacted, and the states have law and order with them. So how can they afford, when there is a enacted law, they cannot prevent the citizens from applying for it? But the opposition is, Parikshit, that there are ways to kind of delay it. For example, a simple thing like a meeting which takes place at the district level. Maybe it's delayed. Maybe the representatives do not go. Maybe at the level of even the empowered committee, there'll be a complete refusal on the part of the members of the state to even appear. That's why the meeting may not have a quorum. The may not have a full signature, may not have a full, as you say, unanimity. So in that respect, it can be delayed. Otherwise, it cannot be just, the power cannot be usurped, and nor I think it can be denied to those refugees there.
Right. Now, in terms of the timing, one point that political parties are making is that this could have a spillover effect on the National Population Register and the National Register of Citizens. Do you feel that this will indeed have an impact on this?
I really don't know, because how it is going to impact. Maybe, this is kind of thing which is being made political. Where is the harm in having a national register of citizens and people who are actually the citizens of this country? I think every country would like to have a national citizen register. How will this be? The question which the opposition is to the fact that it will be more Hindu refugees, I would say Hindu migrants, Hindu people who are being tormented outside, that they will get membership, therefore their year will be more. In Assam and other places, there is a problem because of the accord between 66 and 71. And now again, it will be
Right.
those people for 2014. That's a different area. The inner line permit still applies in those areas, it doesn't apply. So in this particular case, where is the opposition or contradiction between the two? I'm unable to follow.
All right. We've run out of time, but Mr. Azad, thank you very much for joining us on the program, giving us your perspective on the Citizenship Amendment Act, which has been notified by the government just ahead of the Model Code of Conduct. We're going to take a short break here on CNBC TV 18, but don't go anywhere. We'll shift our focus